As was pointed out to me in the comment section last week, it's really cool how the ending song already previews what Eiko and Kabe will be able to do together in terms of almost like a rap song kind of mix and match, which is really awesome. But I have to say, this rap battle was better than anything I could have possibly dreamed up. I mean, not only was the flow incredible, I love how the voice actors perfectly captured both what seems to be a professional kind of master at his craft and someone who may not at first glance fit into the rap game, but did his own spin on it with this Three Kingdoms flow. And the fact that not only did the lyrics actually, they were solid, honestly. I was not expecting it to be that memorable, but just the way they enunciated and they delivered their lines, it was badass. It was one of those rap battles that you hoped wouldn't come to an end. And now all I can think of is I kind of want a specific anime that's just about rap battles to this quality, because even ignoring the fact that we literally had a JoJo level stand battle in the middle of a rap battle, which is incredible, and it's not an exaggeration, even though they weren't actually fighting with like the spirits that they summoned, it almost felt like the energy they were giving off was almost as if they had stands that were fighting each other. And to no real surprise, at least in my opinion, Kabe came out on top. The only reason that he would lose against Kongming is if he had a stomach ulcer act up, or, he just didn't have that self-confidence. And the fact that our boy literally snuck in a concoction that, before obviously he went up there, the bartender kind of had like this special kind of ointment that would allow his stomach to probably not implode on him, sort of a thing. First he did it for the singer with his bad voice, and now he does it with the stomach ulcers. This man literally has a remedy for everything, and not only can he somehow rap, he also is a great doctor alongside a great strategist. It's just incredible to see the arsenal of skills that Kongming actually does have under his belt. But without doubt, the star of this show for me out of the 6 episodes, and this is no exaggeration, is this rap battle. Because for half of the episode, it was just them laying down bars. And I love the fact that they perfectly captured the energy of a rap battle. The idea of the crowds and, how they decide the victor and everything like that. The fact that they had to go into overtime because it was essentially a draw. The crowd was evenly split. And even though they were ultimately aiming to defeat him so that they would basically kind of come over and he would join up with their cause, I think it's far better for him to regain his passion. The fact that, the first thing was it was basically the best bait. The fact that Kongming, a amateur, saying like, I could easily defeat you. It's one of those things that it's like going into the NFL, going to the NHL, going to these professional athletes, someone who's never picked up a mic, never picked up a hockey stick, never picked up a football, right? Just the idea that you could go up to a professional and say, I'm going to defeat you. I mean, mostly you would just laugh at them and say, good job, champ, have your dreams. But in that moment, and in a similar situation, the pro is going to say, try it. And, let's see how far you get, champ. But it was impressive that it wasn't just amateur hour, right? I'm glad that it was almost evenly split for the most part, because had it been different, right? Had it just been our new boy Kabe here just wiping the floor, as much as it would be great to see him completely roast someone, it wouldn't have been as entertaining as seeing a pretty even split up until the end, and then how they beautifully direct it with this very old school Three's Kingdom art design is how it felt. And the fact that you have like subtle moments like with our girl Eiko just kind of like getting super blushed and embarrassed because, for someone who wishes he could go back home, no longer does that because he found someone in her that gives him a reason to stick around. You love that kind of like almost Cupid arrow, you can see it firing mid-sentence sort of a thing. It was just so great to see how these two and just the group in general is forming into such an interesting combo. I mean, you have the best manager here who just continues to love the Three Kingdoms and everything that's going on there, and he just feels like the awesome kind of glue that keeps them together financially almost. And then you have, of course, Eiko and Kongming and just everything like that in terms of what they represent, but by adding in a rapper who had no self-confidence, who has now grown back into loving his craft, I think it's going to be really interesting. I mean, not only really getting to hear him go, because with his backstory and everything and like what we got with last week, we didn't really get a good taste of what he has to offer. So to have an episode where it's not just a minute or two, it's damn near like 5 to 6 minutes worth of him just laying down the bars, having his flow there. Like, you can tell he is good. He sounds good. His lyrics are good. And you can tell that mixed with a beautiful voice and, lyric writers such as Eiko, it's something that's going to really work out well. And I love the fact that they manipulated his emotions with his favorite song that would trigger it. I love the fact that he used both the bartender and, Eiko's number one fan sort of a thing to kind of like make this whole thing work out. But ultimately, I'm glad that it was his own skills that prevailed. It's not like he paid the audience off or anything. Like, that was his own skills. And I love just seeing the man that, has been wanting him to come back for so long feel proud that he is back so he can, try to get his own revenge someday, but in a healthy rivalry sort of a way, right? And I think just the idea of someone, being so fearful of passing out again because of these stomach ulcers and because of that social anxiety fear, to have him, after one victory feel good again because he didn't feel pain. He felt confidence again. And this is where he's always wanted to be, but the fear held him down. It makes you very proud of where this guy's gone. And the fact that we just met him last week and I already feel like he's one of the strongest characters in the show, it's pretty insane, man. This show is a surprise. Like, you really think you know what to expect, and then they add in Kabe and it completely shakes up what the story can do. And I'm really excited to see because, had he not reversed his 100 million yen wish, I have a full confidence that Kongming would have found a way to pay him someday. It probably would have been 20 years from now. But after Eiko's super rich and he's making bank as her manager sort of a thing, I imagine he would have paid him at some point, or at least attempted to, and he probably would have been like, I have my own money, don't worry about it. But I love the fact that he reversed it. He's like, no what, I already have my wish. I'm on the stage again, that's all I could really hope for. But I think in terms of both style, in terms of both the lyrics and the songs and just the visual presentation, this is the most impressive episode of your boy, period. I love the almost JoJo stance in terms of having their fighting energy clash, even though it wasn't really there, while they're also having their freestyle. I love the shift in art design, and I love the fact that everything about it just screamed quality. I've really been enjoying the show more and more as it goes on. But to be honest, this episode was in a completely different league than its own. I thought last week was probably the best episode just for how it shifts up the presentation with a more dramatic flair to it. But in terms of pure energy and kind of comfort, it almost felt like comfort food is how I'd put it, right? This one steals the show for me. And it goes a long way to say that two of my favorite episodes that this show has shown me had Kabe in it. So, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if this man becomes my favorite character by the time I leave episode 12. And that may be, crazy because, look at the man himself. He has such energy, and Eiko even herself as well, right? I just love the fact that this show can continue to introduce new elements and have them feel so natural as if they've been there for a dozen episodes already. I wouldn't be shocked in the slightest if there's a new wave of anime fans who are going to be searching up rap battles on YouTube just because of this one. But damn, this show, I already want a spin-off of your boy and just have it be on the rap battle sides of things. Because the way PI Works is styling it both visually and, with the audio design and everything, it's absolutely a 10 out of 10 production right now. I truly wouldn't change a thing about this show right now. I truly think its quality one of the best that this season has to offer, both an underdog, hidden gem, and honestly, I could see a lot of people saying this is their anime of the season because of just how good it is. But thoughts, if you have any, what are you thinking, one, of Kabe and its introduction, now really seeing what he has to offer? Do you agree with me that he's one of, if not the best characters right now? And two, what do you hope to see now that the group has seemingly been formed in terms of the duo and what they could offer on stage? Let me know down below, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here. Till next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.